Hi, everyone, and welcome to Club La Santa Ironman Lanzarote. This is our technical meeting for our age group athletes. You can use this QR code to get yourselves to a live Q&A that'll be running throughout today's presentation and shortly afterwards. So bike and bag check-in will be happening on Friday between 3 and 8 o'clock. During this time, athletes can check in their transition bags and their bikes in the designated areas. The transition access will be located off of Avenida de la Playa next to the Suite Hotel Fariones. That's point A on this map. And then you'll exit on the opposite end of the race area, point E, after you drop your bags and your bike. There will be mechanics available close to that access point that is that point A as you come in. And please remember, it's athletes only at this time. So to get yourself ready for your bag and bike check-in, please make sure that your race number is visible from the side. So that should be either on the seat post or on the frame of the bike. And then you will have two numbered stickers, which must be placed on the front and on the left side of your helmet. Your helmet should be worn and fastened when you're coming in for bike check. You should also have your transition bags labeled with your race numbers. So you'll pick up your timing chips as you come into transition, and the referees will do a quick check of your bike, your brakes, and your helmets. They'll also make sure that your race numbers are on correctly. Please rack your bike in the numbered areas, and you're going to put that up on the saddle. So please make sure you have those chips. As you're coming out at point E, they will have a little spot where you can check the chips. And remember, no chip, no time. As I mentioned earlier, you're going to be racking your bikes by the seat. Your helmet must be placed inside the bike bag. You can leave your bike shoes clipped onto the bike. And please be aware that you cannot leave any equipment on the ground around your bike. At 8 o'clock, the officials will remove any items that are left on the ground and take them to the athlete info point. There will be security in the transition area on Friday and Saturday. So once you've got your bike racked, then you can access the two different bag areas. You've got blue bags for your bike equipment, red bags for your run equipment. Just like the bike racks, the bag racks are all numbered, and you will rack your bag according to your race number. You will have access to your bags on race morning. And once again, a reminder, it is mandatory to leave the bike helmet in that blue bag. So the schedule on race day, I won't go through this whole thing, but transition opens at 5. It will close at 6:45, at which point all athletes should be down at the swim start area. Our pro men head off at 7, pro women at 7:05, and then our rolling start for age group athletes will start at 7:10 and run roughly until about 7:20. Your bike and bag checkout can begin at 7 p.m. and runs until 12:30 a.m. on Sunday morning, and the transition area will be closed at 12:40 a.m. on Sunday morning. So on race morning, you're going to hand in a couple of different bags. Your personal needs bags for both the bike and run will be dropped off close to point A. The bike personal needs bag will be taken to the special aid station in Los Valles. And then the run personal needs bags will be available at Aid Station 1. It's actually 50 meters away from Aid Station 1 out on the run course, obviously. You will also drop off your streetwear, the white bags. Those will be dropped off by the athletes at the finisher area. And that area is located in transition close to that access point E. So please make sure you have those timing chips. They should be on your left ankle on race day. And if there are any issues, if you lose your chip, please just let one of the race officials or race volunteers know, and we will get you another chip. No chip, no time out on the course. And then at the end of the day, when you're trying to check your bike out, no chip, no bike. You will have access to your bikes from 5 to 6:45 for any last minute details. And there will also be bike tech available inside transition. And then during the bike race or when you're out on the bike course, there are mobile mechanics out there as well. So on race morning, you can access the transition area from either point A or point E. And then when you're done at the end of the day, you're going to come in at point E, grab your bikes and your bags, and then exit at point A. So, sort of the opposite of the way you came in on Friday. Athletes are responsible for knowing and complying with Ironman and World Triathlon competition rules. You can get more information about all of those rules at the Ironman Lanzarote website. There is a course rules section. So your swim course, 3.8 kilometers. It is two loops of 1.9 kilometers each, and you'll be coming out of the water at the end of the first lap and then heading back into the water. Your swim cap colors: pro men yellow, pro women green, age group men orange, and age group women are wearing pink swim caps. For age group athletes, you may wear wetsuits up to and including 24.5 degrees Celsius. And the cutoff time for the swim is 2 hours and 20 minutes after your individual start. So on race morning, once you've dropped off your white bag and your personal needs bags at the transition, you can access the swim start through the Access F area that you can see on our map here. Once you get to the beach and for the start, there are different areas set up based on your predicted swim times. So 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 minutes, etc. Please remember that you cannot warm up in the start area before the race. So our rolling start for our age group athletes will begin at 7:10, should run for roughly 10 minutes. And once again, that swim cutoff, 2 hours and 20 minutes. So once you're all done the swim, you're going to run up the beach and into the transition area. Please remember that the torso rule is in effect. So you cannot remove your wetsuit until you reach the change area, unless you're wearing a tri-suit, in which case you may lower your wetsuit to your waistline before you enter that change tent. Please remember again, if to check that timing chip. If you have lost it, just let one of us know. Once you're in the change tent, there are male and female sections, and there's lots of sunscreen available. Volunteers will be there to help you with all of that. Once you've got yourself changed, please put all of your swim equipment in the blue bag. Don't leave anything in the change tent. And then remember to rack your blue bag back on the bag rack, obviously at your race number. While you're out on the bike course, it is compulsory to have your race number on the back. And please do not alter any of those race numbers. So just a few rules to remember. The torso rule is in effect. You must have a shirt or a jersey on throughout the bike segment. Uniforms with a front zipper can be opened up to the sternum, provided that the zipper remains attached at the bottom. The top always covers the shoulders. It is forbidden to only have a sports bra on as you're out on the course. Remember that helmet rule as well. Your helmet must be on and done up before your bike comes off the rack and must stay done up until you are finished the bike ride and your bike is back on the rack at the end of the ride. You can't get onto your bike until you cross the mount line. So this one's fairly simple. No communication devices of any kind are allowed out on the bike. So our bike course, 180.2 kilometers. It is one ginormous loop around the island. There are various cutoff times: 12 o'clock in Tinguiton, 3:30 at Plaza de Haria. That's around 103 kilometers. The third cutoff time is 4:45 in Teziguite, and then your final cutoff time for the bike is 11 hours and 30 minutes after your individual start time. So there's a few spots where you need to be careful out on this bike course. One, you've got a 180-degree turn at Tinguaton, and so please, it gets very narrow there. So just please be very aware, and you'll be merging in with athletes at that point as well. I ran through the cutoff times earlier, but please be aware the penalty boxes are in Haria in the main square and then in Porto del Carmen just outside the transition area. And if we could ask you, please, to get your loved ones and friends not to put any graffiti out on the course. We want to leave this beautiful island as beautiful as it was when we arrived. So there's a sign about 400 meters before you get to each aid station. Please throw any used bottles into the nets that are available there. There's no littering outside of an aid station or trash drop area. Out on the bike course, you'll find 5 full aid stations with both hydration and nutrition, 3 liquid stations, and then there's the 1 personal needs station in Los Valles. The water will be handed out in 750 milliliter water bottles. And this just gives you an idea of the different flavors available for both your hydration and nutrition out on the course. So the personal needs bags will be all lined up based on race numbers. The athlete must stop and take his or her own bag from the rack. So for those of you who have been out training on the course, you will have seen these yellow signs with the directions for the bike course. The course will be closed to general traffic, but there are some short stretches open to oncoming traffic. So please be aware of that. You must always stay to the right side of the road. It is forbidden to cross the white line, the center line. And if for some reason there is no white line out on the road, please imagine where that center line would be and make sure you don't cross it. Crossing that center line is a disqualification. So a few sections to be careful of as you're coming down that steep hill in La Garia on your way down to Uga. There's a really fast ascent with some often very crazy side winds. The downhill with lots of hairpin turns from Mirador de Haria and Mirador del Rio. And then that Teziguite crossroad, please be aware of cyclists coming in from the opposite direction. And then as you are finishing the bike ride, there is a long, steep downhill. Please remember to stay to the right. The draft zone is 12 meters, and you have 25 seconds to make the pass once you have entered the draft zone. So this is a new rule that has been added to be consistent with World Triathlon Competition rules. This is over the front-mounted and rear-mounted water bottle or hydration systems on your bike. So please just make sure that your bikes comply with these new rules. And hopefully no one sees any of these cards, but if you do, your yellow card is a 1-minute time penalty. New this year is the blue card is a 3-minute time penalty, and red card is disqualification. For any of the cards that you see or any penalties that you get out on the bike course, you're going to stop at the next penalty box. So either in Haria or at the end of the bike ride. So once you're all finished the bike ride, you're going to come into transition. Remember to dismount your bike at the dismount line. There will be volunteers there to help you and guide you through the transition. You must rack your own bike. Remember that helmet rule. Don't unclip your helmet until your bike is racked. You must grab those red run bags yourself, and then you're also going to rack those red bags after you are done getting your shoes on, etc., yourself as well. So out on the run course, the race numbers need to be on your front, and the torso rule remains in effect. no bare torsos, and you cannot only wear a sport bra. So our run course, 42.2 kilometers. There is one long loop of about 21.2K, followed by two shorter 10.5K loops. The cutoff time for the run, 17 hours after your individual swim start. And just like the bike, there are no communication devices allowed of any type. And you can check the current list of banned running shoes on the Ironman Lanzarote website as well. Out on the run course, there are two aid stations that are liquid only, including aid station 1, which is where you will get your personal needs bags. And then there are 4 aid stations that have both liquid and other nutrition. And we can call this one the Brownlee Rule. Athletes are not permitted to physically assist the forward progress of another athlete on any part of the course. So the Amazing Green team always does a fantastic job with getting everyone their bands. You will get different colored bands at the end of each lap. And so that way you can keep track of how far you've gone. And then when you complete that third lap with the red band, you are going to head on into the finish line. It's the athlete's responsibility to make sure you get those wristbands after each lap. So please, everyone, as you are coming into the finish line, please remember that family members, friends, children, spectators, and pets are not allowed to come down the finish chute with you. This is for everyone's safety. And for any of our first timers, there is a first timer bell about 20 meters from the finish. Ring it loud if you're coming across the Ironman finish line for the first time. So the white bags, those streetwear bags, will be available in the finisher area, which is also where the race canteen is. So you can refuel and relax there. And for any of our athletes who are staying at Club La Santa, there are bus transfers available. So that bike checkout procedure, it'll start at 7 o'clock. Once again, you're going to be coming in the opposite way that you went on Friday. So point E to get in, grab your bikes and bags, and then you'll exit at point A. And just remember, you do need to have that chip to get your bike out. So the best way for your friends and loved ones to keep track of you on race day will be through the Ironman Tracker app that's available for both Android and iOS. You can also find results on the web. Any protests may be done in person at the race site until midnight or via email, lanzarote@ironman.com, until Sunday at 11 a.m. So there are 65 qualifying slots for men to the 2025 Ironman World Championship in Nice, France. There are 35 qualifying slots for women for the 2025 Ironman World Championship in Kailua Kona, Hawaii. The World Championship slot allocation for both age groups and pro athletes will take place on Sunday, May 18th at 12:30 at the Ironman Lanzarote transition area. Athletes must be present on site to accept those slots. If an automatic qualifier chooses not to take the slot or does not attend slot allocation, the slot will be rolled down to the next eligible finisher. The award ceremony takes place at 2 o'clock on the 18th of May, that's Sunday, once again in the transition area in Puerto del Carmen. There's trophies for the top 3 age group, men and women, top 3 tri-clubs, first Lanzarote citizen. There's special awards, and then we'll also be handing out awards to our top 6 pro men and women. Once again, you can scan this QR code to access the live Q&A. You can play back this presentation and view some of the event videos at Club La Santa Races YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us for our athlete briefing, and have a great race day.